Mike King Biz, the premier business media brand covering and connecting Central Virginia. It's home to Mike King Biz Radio, producer of On the Mic with Mike RVA, which airs on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM, The Choice 105.3 FM, and worldwide on IBGR.network. Follow Mike King Biz for the best business-ish content in RVA. Mike King Biz Radio presents Women Speaking Sports RVA, Friday, 6 a.m. on ESPN Richmond. The roster features Lisa, Star, Carrie, Danielle, Steph B, and Dr. Danny, giving you all of your sports news from a female fan perspective. College sports, football, basketball, tennis, golf, and a look at the business side of sports, bringing the heat every week. Women Speaking Sports RVA, Friday morning, 6 a.m. on ESPN 106.1 FM, a Mike King Biz Radio production.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Women Speaking Sports RVA. I'm your QB Star Mallory, and we have a team for you today. We've got our referee that calls the play, throws the flags, does not care, Danielle Fitzhugh. We've got our power forward, Dr. Danny, and our designated hitter, Lisa Trani. But not only are we missing our two ladies, we have one specific ladies with us on the panel today. Now, I hope everybody is wearing their closed-toed shoes because there is glass on the floor because the ceiling has been broken. Okay, honey, I've been, yes, I've been keeping that kind of stuff in my back pocket. For sure. But, so Lisa, why don't you do the honors in introducing the woman next to you?
Well, I think that you should do that.
Okay. All right. So with us today, we have the first female president of the Richmond Raceway, Miss Lori. Lori, welcome to the show.
Thank you so very much.
What
a wonderful welcome. That's amazing.
Well, we see you're wearing your red and white. You have your red microphone. You're really fitting in with the ladies. Like, how do you feel today?
I feel great today, especially with you guys. I mean, this is a very energetic group. We've already been bantering. The show started about a half an hour
ago. Exactly.
Before the show and then the show.
And then the show.
Yeah.
I'm learning that.
Pre-game. Well, Lori, we're excited that you're on the panel with us today. We kind of just want to chit-chat with you and have a conversation with you. So I think the first question would be, how did you get here?
That's a great question. So I actually have a childhood friend that is the chief digital officer of NASCAR. And I'm from this area originally, and so obviously he's from this area originally, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of connection to Richmond at NASCAR. His name was Tim Clark. A few months back, he reached out to me and said, hey, we think we're making a few changes in Richmond, and we think you might be the perfect person for us to talk to lead the track. And I was on the phone with him and said, lead the track? What are you talking about?
What do you mean
lead the track where?
Like drive? Like drive on the track?
What do you mean by that? And he said, we've been watching what you've been doing. We've been watching your trajectory and the way in which you connect with the community. We want someone from Richmond, and we love what you've done in business and your successful track record, and we'd love just to talk to you when we come to town for the spring race.
Yeah.
And he said it was going to be a casual dinner. Let me tell you something. NASCAR doesn't do things casually.
Okay.
At all.
Sounds like our kind of people.
Tell us more. It was without getting into too many details. A lot of the top brass flew in, and the conversation was just really energizing and really fun. And I felt like if this is how things might go with them, in the future, then this was a great start. So the conversation picked up from there. And as I've shared with other folks recently, it kind of took off. They flew me down to Daytona to meet with Jim France, Lisa France Kennedy, Ben Kennedy, who own NASCAR, the founding family of NASCAR, and then other top brass. I had 14 or 15 interviews in one day, which
wow.
Right?
Sorry.
Right?
I was just like, wow.
Yes. That's a lot.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, it was a pretty overwhelming thought, but once I got down there and got started, everyone was just so down to earth, and they were so warm and welcoming. And I left there thinking, gosh, if everyone is like this in the organization, and these were the top executives, these were the people who, they didn't have to be as welcoming and warm, but they were. And if this is how everyone is, then I think this is probably a great place for me, and it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was cool.
What a great story.
It was really cool.
And isn't it wonderful to be wanted? Like somebody pick up the phone and call and say, I think you're it.
Yeah, you know, and they explained sort of their vision for their future forward vision, you know, and because I kept saying, why me? You know, and a lot of people around here, of course, were asking, you know, why you? You don't have a sports background. You know, and I have said to a lot of those folks, you know, I might not have a background in sports, but I've got a background in success.
Oh,
I love it.
Okay, let's put some trademarks. Yeah, there you go. Did she leave yet?
Yeah. I mean, but, you know, and that's not a very humble answer, I know, but I also, you have to get to a point where you have to, you know, understand and be confident in your ability. And I've had a long record of building from ground one, and I've had to prove myself over and over again. And I know I have to do that right now. This is another one of those moments, but I do believe in my ability. And I think when I shared that vision with you know, the folks at NASCAR, they echoed that, and they said, we're going to throw a lot of support behind you because we believe in you too.
Well, shout out to you. You said your friend Tim.
Yes.
Because one of the things that a lot of times when you're in a position to take a leadership role, people are looking at profile, pedigree, and all of those other things. But clearly he saw leadership. And great leadership is transcendent. It's not something that you just, you know, because I'm an engineer, I can do engineering. Great leadership follows you wherever you go. So shout out to Tim for seeing talent and rewarding that.
He's awesome, and he's a great leader himself. He's a very humble leader. You know, we haven't heard a lot about him, but he's from this area, and he's been at NASCAR for 10 years.
Wow.
And he's really taken NASCAR digital in a new direction. And you know, it's kind of that pay it forward thing. So now I'm looking around, how can I help somebody around here too, you know, and elevate them, because he did that for me. So
Because it's no longer a handout, it's a hand up. So
Oh, that's a great thing to say.
Ooh, Danielle.
I like that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's good.
I
A
like
lot of
that.
good words.
Yeah. So that's
We've
kind
got
of
it
how it got
recorded.
here.
Did you say she
Keep
could have
track
that
of
one?
all
We
this,
got that recorded. We got that
Keep track of all
recorded.
this. Right.
So Lisa, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to say, you know, you are one of 3 women in your position in all of NASCAR in the country. So how does that feel? Because that is groundbreaking. I mean, you're in a predominantly male occupation, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to be a part of that. Julie Giese, who is the president out at Phoenix, and she grew up in NASCAR. I mean, she literally started in NASCAR, and she knows everything about NASCAR from the ins and outs. And so it's nice to have her help mentor me and sort of show me the ins and outs. And then Jill Gregory, who has been in NASCAR for some time on the marketing side and at corporate, has now taken over as the track president of Sonoma. So it's a nice little tiny female club that we're all sort of calling each other and texting each other. The minute I got the position, they reached out to me, both of them.
That's great to
That's
hear.
great.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I think that, you know, we're in for some other groundbreaking areas. I think there's a female that's running a hockey team, and then there's been some women in the NFL that are come up. And I would love it if all of y'all would get together, even though it's across sports, because you could do even more, I think. Just that fellowship of the sisterhood, not just the 3 of you guys. That's great for NASCAR, but there's some impact that you could have even broader.
I completely agree. In fact, I've been putting a lot of thought behind that. You know, Kim Ng at Miami Marlins, you know, the general manager there, I mean, she, talk about breaking glass ceilings, she really did.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
know, that, I mean, she's it. And, you know, that's huge. And of course, we just saw the Las Vegas Raiders, you know, with
Yes.
that.
I mean, not my team, but
Yeah,
we
but-
still cheering.
But the Raiders,
Of the
Raiders,
North
Carolina A&T.
Okay.
You know, so you know, female executives in sports, that's that camaraderie. I think there is a lot to kind of bring forth, and I think there's a lot that we could bring to the table and leverage. I totally agree with you.
So, Lori, are you hoping with you at the helm at Richmond Raceway that it will diversify the attendance and audience of those customers coming in to see, we've got an upcoming race coming up in another week or so.
Oh, completely. I mean, I started July 11th, and already I've reached out to Floyd Miller at Metro Business League and said,
And the Chesterfield Chamber.
and the
I'm sorry.
Chesterfield. I did.
I'm sorry. I just got to throw that in there. I just got to throw that in there.
I mean, I want to engage fully in, diverse audiences. That's not, again, like I said earlier, it's not just because I want to, but it's a good business decision.
It's good,
Yeah,
right?
great, yeah.
We know that having diverse audiences, diverse customer base increases your revenue 15%. Who doesn't want an extra 15% in the bank?
But it's just
There's
great
your
for our
receipt.
community.
All right, sell it. I'm usually the money person, but
Look, Danielle,
Look, that's our DEI initiative at work at the Chesterfield Chamber.
and women executives
Absolutely.
tend to drive something on the order of that as well. So think about the diversity, not just in the attendance and the people who are participating, but look at what it will do for women.
Oh, yeah,
I
there's
mean,
a whole
I'm
nother
just
number
waiting
on
to get a
workforce.
cool cap that has your picture. No, I'm just
Yeah. Or a t-shirt.
A t-shirt.
Yeah.
But, so Bubba Wallace, a black driver that's in NASCAR right now, we added a new event, Bubba Wallace's Block Party. I mentioned that a little earlier.
I thought that was
mean-
I saw that. I've registered.
Great.
I've already registered.
Get
I
there
wanna
early.
go.
Yeah,
I've
you're
already
on that.
If the kids are going to go, but I've registered.
It's amazing. We have the Virginia State VSU marching band coming through. We've got
Are the woo-woo girls coming? That's what I want to know.
That I don't
They
know.
are bad.
I don't know about that, but
you
we've
need
got-
to have the woo-woo girls.
She
Well,
wants to
okay.
dance with the woo
Look,
girls.
Oh, yeah,
And Dr. Danny might as well. She's been taking lessons.
Oh, no. I'll just have the tiara.
I just want to know how to do the walk.
Oh,
I
okay.
just want to know how to do the walk.
Well, you might get a chance. Well, and then of course Wale will be there entertaining, and we've got lots of food trucks. I mean, that's going to be a great kickoff to the race weekend, and so we are certainly making it more diverse already from the jump. I think it's necessary. I reached out to Eric Moses, who's the president of the Nashville racetrack, and he's the first black president we've had. I reached out to him before I accepted the job and said, tell me the ins and outs. Tell me what you think, because you've been doing this for a couple of years now. How do you feel? And he could not have said, better things about everything. So,
Lori,
So
where do you
there
see-
always has to be a first one, but it doesn't have to be the last one.
Exactly.
Right? So like I'm the only black chamber president of an all-inclusive chamber.
You're black?
Dr. Danny.
Danny,
I can't with her.
Throughout in the
I
whole
didn't know,
state,
I'm colorblind.
the whole state ever.
I can't.
Ever. Not in the last 20 years, but chambers have been around since 1773, ever in Virginia.
Wow.
But I'm not going to be the last,
That's right.
right? So, we just have to keep making diverse hiring decisions, hiring the very best candidate to grow our businesses.
Absolutely. Lori, before you go, leave us with a gem. What are some goals that you see for the Richmond sector? And what's your biggest goal that you want to accomplish before you get out
for the raceway?
for the raceway?
Well, I've shared with a few people right now. I'm trying to keep it pretty broad. I really want to get through the next week and a half and see what the team has already accomplished, because they've done so much already. They have laid a great foundation there. But I think, another mistake I've made early on is overly complicating a very simple thing, right? And so if you keep it simple, it's really easy for everyone to, jump on board.
That's right.
So the vision that I have is just for everyone to leave happier than when they came. And if you, excuse me, if everyone leaves happier than when they came, they're going to share it on social media. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to tell their family. And they're going to want to come back. So, excuse me. So I think that's the way that we're going to enter into 2023.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Lori, we really appreciate you
Thank
coming
you
to the
so
show and just really speaking not just into our lives, but to the listeners. And we're really excited to see what you have to do. And we, us ladies, can't wait to join you on the track one day.
I hope it's in a week and a half.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Look, that's move-in college day for me, but I'll be with you in spirit because I'll need to be somewhere.
Next spring. Next spring.
that's a good reason.
That's a good reason.
I'll have a beer for you.
Thank you.
And we will.
You might need 5.
Will do.
No, 2 is my limit.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lori, for coming in and tuning in. You can find us on ESPN Richmond on 106.1 FM, as well as The Choice on 105.3 FM. Catch us every day on Instagram at Women Speaking Sports RVA. Thank you so much to our sponsors, the Hilton, Crystal Clear Financial Solutions, Core Mortgage, Intrepid Impact with Jerry Howard, Synergy Technical, Capital Ale House, Fast Signs, NFL, Freddie Berry, and Mike King Biz. We'll be right back.